Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and puzzle by Jaxar. Now, Jaxar's puzzle gave me a lot of trouble last time. That was, it feels like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'm not sure. But we'll see how this goes. It's fog, so we ought to know roughly where to start, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's a special dots rule. That's all I've got to tease you with at this point. Don't forget that on Patreon there's Blobs' marvellous The Hobbit Sudoku hunt that runs till the 20th as a competition, and then after that just sits there for you to solve and enjoy. It is his follow-up to The Lord of the Rings, which was brilliant, but this is in many ways better. So I mean, it's just absolutely fabulous work. Do try it out. Also absolutely fabulous work is our apps, which include Domino Sudoku. That features a number of dots puzzles. And of course, Fog of War Sudoku is our latest. So if you enjoy the Fog of War style, do consider giving that a go. It really is worth it. And loads of other apps. I should have mentioned on Patreon loads of other content, including my crossword video, which is out this month, and connections and so on and so forth. And what else have we got going on around the channel? We've got SVEN'S Sudoku Pad and our merchandise all listed under the video, so you could get yourself a water bottle saying Cracking the Cryptic, and maybe you can find a knowledge bomb. Right, do have a look at this puzzle though. It's the first link in the description field. It's called Triple Double by Jaxar. Now that is, I am aware, despite my ignorance of basketball, a well-known basketball term. Anyway, it doesn't apply to basketball in this puzzle. It applies, I think, to the dots. Here come the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now this is dynamic fog. The grid is covered in fog. Placing a correct digit in a cell may lift fog somewhere in the grid and reveal new clues. So there's no promises. It may do. I guess if we get the whole puzzle right, all the fog will be lifted in the end. That's the promise. Anyway, crop key dots. Digits separated by a white dot differ by 1. Digits separated by a green dot show that either one digit is double the other or triple the other. So the relations are ambiguous. They're either 2 to 1 ratios or 3 to 1 ratios between each pair connected by a green dot. I think every visible dot here is green. There are no white dots revealed yet, but a slight promise of white dots if we can find one in the puzzle from the rules. Right, give it a try on that first link. I'm going to restart the clock and say, let's get cracking. So, how do we crack on with this? Right, let's think about the digits and the possible relationships they have. Let's think about 5, 7 and 9, which famously cannot sit on what is more normally a black dot, a dot which has a 1 to 2 ratio, because they have no Sudoku partners. Now, 5 and 7 remain in a sort of asocial, unfriendly set. They cannot combine on a green dot with anything. So in the central column, of which we are shown 6 cells, 5 and 7 must miss all the green dots and sit down there. Now, 9 has joined the party this time, because 9 could sit on a green dot next to 3. Obviously 1, 2, 4 and 8 could all sit next to each other. 3 and 6 could have a ratio of 2, and then the digits that can have a ratio of 3 are 1, 3, 9 and 2, 6. So where does that leave us? It probably leaves us looking at this cell, which has 4 dots emanating from it, but only 3 are relevant at the moment. Why do I say that? Because this digit is in a different box, so it could be the same as this or this digit. So in a way, that doesn't really add a relationship to this cell. Now, okay, let's start with 1. I'm literally going to go through them. 1 cannot sit in this cell because it has 2 possible partners with this rule, and they are 2 or 3. And this cell, whatever is in the red cell, needs 3 partners, all different and all different from itself. So it's not a 1. I think it could be a 2. 2 could sit next to 1 and 4 and also to 6. So 2's possible. I don't think we're going to find many possible digits, but let's keep going. 3 is possible because 3 could sit next to 1 and 9 and also to 6. Is that right? Yeah, 3 can't sit next to 2. So 3 has a possible 3 neighbours as well. 4 doesn't, because you can't have a times 3 or a divide by 3 relationship. And the same is true about 5, 7 and 8. So I've only got 6 and 9 left to think about. Now 6 could sit next to 2 or 3, but you can't multiply it by either. So that's not a candidate for this cell. 9 isn't either because it can only sit next to 3, in fact. 9 is monogamous. Is 9 the only monogamous one of the set that I just went through? 7 and 5 have no possible partners. No, 8 has only one possible partner. 8 and 9 are sort of monogamous digits here. But we found out that this red cell is 2 or 3. Now, if it's a 3, these 3 digits are 1, 6 and 9. If it's a 2, they are 1, 4 and 6. So they always include 6 and 1. Now, on a normal black or white dot or both puzzle, this can't be a 1, but in this puzzle it can, because it can have 2 on one end and 3 on the other. This digit, I suppose, is 1, 4, 6 or 9 as well. My brain keeps wanting to believe that these two relationships in the row have to be the same, like a ratio of 3 and 3 or 2 and 2, but they don't. So my brain has to be put back in its box and told off. Now, these can't be 9s. 9s are monogamous. They only have one partner possible. So they couldn't sit in a column with a different partner above and below, because they would both have to be 3. So I'm taking 9 out of those. So what about 1 and 6? 1 and 6. 1 and 6 both only have 2 and 3 as partners. Isn't that right? Yeah, it is. They weren't in this red candidate because they only have 2 partners. But they both have 2 and 3 as partners. Now, this could be a 1-6 pair. But where else? Well, I don't know. I'm getting a bit confused. How are we going to continue up here? If that was a 1-6 pair. Oh no, it's fine. Then we could go 3-9 or... Well, actually, no. Okay, here we go. Here's something. Right. These are not both. These are not, right, these yellow cells, got it. These yellow cells are not a 1-6 pair because their only possible partners are 2 and 3. And then both of these cells would have to be 2 and 3, but that one already is. And that would give us 3 cells in the same column that were 2 or 3. And that's not possible. So this is not a 1-6 pair. Therefore, one of these 2 digits is a 4. And 4 can't sit next to 3 here. It must sit next to 2. That didn't clear any fog, but I still believe I'm right. I think that has to be a 2. If that was a 3, this would have to be 1 and 6. And then these cells could only be 2. That's definitely right. Okay, I've convinced myself finally. I mean, you may not say that's worth anything. Anyway, now that's a 2. None of these are 9. These are a 1-4-6 triple. And one of these 2 is a 4. However, one of them is a 1 or a 6 and has a 3 on the other side. Now, if this was the 3, we would be going 3, 6, 2, Oh, we might be going 3, 1, 2. Oh, weird. I was hoping to say this has to be the 3 and that's a 9, but I'm not sure about that now at all, because we've got 8. Well, if there is an 8 or a 9 in this column, they have to be in those two cells, in this white cell area. They have to be in one of those two cells, but they don't have to both be there, because one of them can be down here. Now I'm just confusing myself, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 has to be in whichever one of these. Right, 3 is in whichever one of these cells is not touching a 4. And the digit in the cell that is touching a 4 is an 8. So that is a 3-8 pair. And 4 is definitely in this pair. I don't really want to pencil mark it, but I'm doing it. Now, 3 or 8 there, if that's a 4, and this can't be an 8, because 8 is monogamous, so that is a 3. There we go. Oh, it still didn't clear any fog, so I'm worried I'm wrong. But I think this is an 8 now. And that did clear fog, so we are on the right track. This is a 4. This one isn't a 4. But I don't know whether it's 1 or 6. I now know that these two are a 1-6 pair. And the other side of 1 and 6 is always 2, and if it's not 2, it's 3. So that's definitely a 3. And this can't be 1 or 6 in this row now, so, well, it couldn't have been 2 anyway. It is 9. I haven't missed any relationships. Oh, look, that kept clearing fog as well. It's such a relief. I think this, well, I was going to say this has to be 9. That is not true anymore, because we've still got 1 and 6 available in this column. So that is 1, 6 or 9. That's so strange. I mean, I've used the fact of 1 and 6, if they were a pair, what happens to the, I don't know. Anyway, the thinking is all right, and it's all working. 9, 3, 1, 2, 6. Now, in this box, this is where, clearly this is where we haven't cleared anything else up here. I can't tell if that's a 1, 6 or 9. I know 5, 7 are down here. Okay, I mean, I could also sketch in 3, 5, 7, 9 as the candidates there, but I don't have any dots to tell me anything. Here is where I've got the new dots, and here is another of these cells with 3 partners. This one doesn't count, because that partner can be one of those two. So it's this cell that has 3 different partners and is therefore 2 or 3. We worked that out as red earlier, and it's the same deal here. So now, if it was 2, and these are now from 1, 4, 6, 9, these two can't be 4 by Sudoku. That seems to be the only hint we're getting. So we're selecting from 1, 6 or 9 here. If we were using 9, that would have to be 3. But for this could be 2, touching a 1, 6 pair here and a 4 here, I think. So do we have to now think about this, or about this row? Or about this? Gosh, I just don't know. What else have we got in row 4? 4, 5, 7, 8. That's not really informing this box much. I keep rechecking. There aren't any negative constraint rule sets. So I've got to try and do it out of this group. To move on out of this group. And this is the thing with fog of war, and especially dynamic fog of war. It very much directs your thinking. I mean, should I just be unwinding this 1, 6 pair? I don't think I can. I'm not doing it, because this can be either. 3 and 2 can bound either 1 or 6. Actually, if we keep on only unloading green dots, how do we ever distinguish between 1 and 6? They can both join to 2 and 3, but they can never join to anything else. That's strange. Oh, well, of course, we're going to find a white dot somewhere. The same's true about 5 and 7, by the way. Anyway, never mind about disambiguation of cells we can't see. Let's try and work out what is going on in the ones we can. Now, if that is 1 or 6, it's always surrounded by 2 and 3. So this would be 2 or 3. But if this is 4 or 9, if it's 9, it can't be 9. 9 is monogamous. It cannot sit in the middle of a 2-dot sequence where they see each other. Now, if it was 4, this would be 8. And 8 is monogamous. Would it be 8, 2, 4? Yes, it would. It would be 8. But 8 is monogamous, so it can't sit here because these two would both have to be 4. So that is not 4. This is 2 or 3 because that's what joins on to 1 or 6. And this 2 or 3 is the other one from this. Oh, now we've got a 1, 6, 9 triple. None of these can be 4. So that is a 3. Wow. And again, it scares me by not clearing the fog. But this is now a 2. That clears fog. Lovely. This pair, don't know. But they're from 1, 4 and 6. That much I do know. 9 is in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku, so it's not in those. Oh, 3 is also not in those. That is now a 5, 7 pair. So this is a 3, 9 pair. And in unfogged cell, in fogged cells, it's not really that helpful. I'm obviously going to have to look at here in a moment. I'm just trying to mop up any juice over here first. I just don't think I can possibly know what these are. 2 is in one of those 2 cells. I know that, but it's not interesting. What is interesting is this now group of 4. Well, obviously this could contain 2, 3 on the diagonal and 1, 6 on the other diagonal. Are there other things it can contain? No, there aren't, are there? Because 4... Sure, 4 could be in one of these cells with 2 and 8 touching it. But what else could link 2 and 8? Nothing apart from 4. In fact, 8 can't be in any of these cells because it would need to have 2 companions that weren't the same digit. So 8 and 9 cannot be here. And therefore 4 can't be here because that would put 8 amongst them. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 6. 2 by 2, and we've got a 3 there, so 3 is not in those 2. We've got a 2 here, so 2 is not in those 2. This is now 1 or 6, and therefore this is not 1 or 6 and is 2, and that's 3. I didn't clear any fog, but I still think I'm right. Now this is joining on to 2, but it's not 1 or 6. This must be 4. Yes. Okay, thank goodness when it clears fog, because I get very scared. Right, 4 is joining on to 2 or 8 next to it in a new box. And instead we have to go up here. Right, we cannot put 5 or 7 on the green dots, so that is now a 4, 8 pair. Fact. This one, if that's an 8, this is 4 again. If this is a 4 though, this could be 2 or 8. So it's from the 2, 4, 8. Well, I don't know that we have families anymore. There's no such thing in this. There's a spreading tribe and just 5 and 7 outside the party. Now, this digit is not allowed to be 2 or 3. It's touching 2, 4 or 8. So it could be 4 or 8 itself. Or 1, I suppose. But it could also be 6 to join on to 2. That has to be borne in mind. Oh, I've got a 1, 4, 6 triple here now. 1, 4, 6, 2, 3. Right, these 2 cells are an 8, 9 pair because 5 and 7 in this box are in those 3 cells. So those 2 cells, they see a 1, 3, 4, 6 and a 2 indeed in the row. And they see, well, they can't be 5 or 7 because they're confined. So that's an 8, 9 pair in the box. This is 2. This one, though, is 1 or 6 now. That's what 2 can join to if it's not joining to 4. And that's a 1, 6 pair in the column, and that's a 9 at the top. And this pair is now definitely 5, 7. Wow. This puzzle is very intricate, but very clever. This digit is 5 or 7 to make up the content of the row. This one is 5, 7 or 8. Oh no, look, we've got a 5, 7 pair there. So these two, which also see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, are an 8, 9 pair, and that is not an 8, that is 5 or 7 there. I am going to start colouring the 5s and 7s. It's just a general principle that once they start looking at each other, it might be useful. Now, I still think I'm right, that until we find a white dot or maybe a given digit under the fog, I've got no way of disambiguating 5s and 7s. They're never going to sit on a green dot. But we will obviously be told something about them in due course. Now, what else have we got going on in box 8? 5, 7, 8, 9, 2. Everything else is 1, 3, 4 or 6. I don't know. I mean, the foggy cells are no good to me. Only things touching a dot are any use as far as I can see. I don't know. Am I missing the point again? Oh, goodness. Oh, 3 is in one of those two cells. Yes, in fact, in this first column, we've had a 5, 7 pair and an 8, 9 pair. Now, this one can't be 4 or 3. So I'm at least going to write 1, 2, 6 there. And 3, I think it can touch all of those. So what about this one? 5, 7, 8, 9 in the column are gone. 3 in the row and 2 in the row. So that is 1, 4 or 6. This isn't actually a helpful approach because, again, I have to keep telling myself that what's hidden under the fog is not helping in a way. Right. What else can I actually do? I don't know. Have I got any other information? 4, 8, 3. Oh, that was a 1, 6, 9 triple. So these are from 2, 5, 7. And there was definitely a 9 here. 9, 3, 4, 5, 7. These are from 1, 2, 6, 8. I don't know. I mean, it can't really be worth doing the pencil marking, but you just never know. So maybe I should be going, where's the other 5, 7? It's an odd question at this point. It doesn't feel like it can help. No, I don't know. Maybe I should be colouring the 1s and 6s, but I don't think these two, for instance, are interacting with any of the other ones. Okay, maybe it's all happening here. Let me think about this a bit more. This is like a black dot. It definitely is a 1 to 2 ratio. And there's definitely a 4 in use on it. Aha! So this digit can't be a 4. And now I've found 4 in row 7. That's really peculiar. Clear some fog for me, 4. Yes, okay. Okay, so that was a good step. It doesn't work here because I don't know if that's a 2 ratio or a 3 ratio. Anyway, what have we got going on down here? We've got another bunch of dots. 2 and 4 here. That's not able to be a 4, actually. It hasn't been for a little while. That is 1, 3 or 6. Now, if that was 1 or 6, this would be a 3 because it can't be a 2. If that's a 3, this is 1, 6 or 9. That's not the kind of multi-possibility I was hoping for. How about this 1, 3, 4 or 6? What can that, I mean, there's going to be a lot. So if it's 1 or 6, this is a 3 again. If it's 3, again, this is 1, 6 or 9. If it's 4, since this can't be 2, it must be 8. And what about, this? Right, I have got something on this, because if it's a black dot, if it's a ratio of 2, it can't use 1, 2, 4 or 8. It would have to be a 3, 6 pair. Yes. And if it's a ratio of 3, so if it's a black dot, it's a 3, 6 pair. If it's a ratio of 3, since it can't be 2, 6, it's using digits from 1, 3, 9. So now look, I've got a quad of 1, 3, 6, 9 in this column. I mean, maybe it's not going to do anything. Or maybe, well, 3 is definitely on this dot. Okay, so it's not on these dots. And therefore, these are not 1 and 6. Is that right? Yes. 1 and 6 can only touch 2 or 3. That's the thing we've discovered the most. And now they can't touch 2 or 3 here. So I'm removing 1 and 6. And now we know this is a 3 and that's a 4. And that cleared fog, so it was right. Now, this is not 1, 6 or 9 now. This is 8. I've got a 1, 3, 6, 9 in the box. So this is 5, 7 and I can colour them. This one is touching 3. Ooh, that's not a 3. This is the place for 3 in the box. A 1, 6, 9 triple across the bottom makes this an 8, and that's a 9 next to it. That's just tidying up, I think. 3 there and 3 there. So I've got an X-wing on 3s left. Now, that 1, 6, 9 triple in the final column didn't go very far, I felt. Am I building up a 1, 6, 9 triple in column 7? Not really. Ah, I've got a 3 just looking up ordinary Sudoku there. 9, 8. This one is 1 or 6. I am going to be starting to colour the 1s and 6s in a moment, I think, and maybe that moment is now. So let's do orange against blue. Orange, blue, orange. Well, that one of these is orange, so that is blue. That's orange, that's blue. And this might start to reveal a cell where at the moment I'm thinking there could be a 1 or a 6, but it turns out there can't. Like this one sees both. Oh, well, no, in this column we've got both. In fact, these are from 4, 5, 7, 8, and they include 4 and 8. Those included 2. That's not very interesting. Right, I'm going to have to go around this sort of question mark shape again. When am I ever going to clear? I should just check every so often that none of the green dots I'm revealing are turning out to be white, because I think that's a little harder to distinguish than usual. And if they are, I'll be making entirely the wrong deductions about them. 5, 7, 2, 3, so 9. Ah, 9 in this column. Brilliant, there it is. 9, is this the last 9 in the grid in box 1? Ooh. Lots of fog cleared with nothing revealed, but I got one more dot up here. And that's probably significant. So 3 is not on, I don't know, 3 and 9 are not on that dot. That doesn't mean it's not a ratio of 3, because it could be 6 and 2 on the dot. Well, 5 and 7 are not on the dot, so that is where the green 5 or 7 goes. The purple one could be anywhere here. Well, no, it can't be there because that's on a dot, so it's in one of those 2 cells. So 9, 5, 7. Now 2, 3. This is really interesting. If this was 1 or 6, this would definitely be a 2, and then this would end up being. Does it have to be a 4, 8 pair? Probably. But if this isn't 1 or 6, then it's 4 or 8. And I haven't run out of 2, 4, 8 cells here, although I have run out of 1s. Oh, looks. We're still not done. There's constant consternation going on. Wow. Okay, there is a sort of purple in one of those 2. And this is obviously a purple and green pair, but I just don't know the order. So green is in one of those 2. I wish this was interesting. It just isn't. I mean, I think it's only confirming things I've learned through other means. 4 is in one of those two, but they're under fog, so I'm not even going to pencil mark it. 9, 8, 4, 3, we need a 2 somewhere. I've got to work on these 5, right. I've got to work on these 5 cells. Okay, if that is 1 or 6, it is surrounded by 3 there and 2 there. And then these two can't have a 1 or a 6 anymore. They must be a 4-8 pair. Alternatively, if this is 4 or 8, then this is 1 or 6, and this is 2. I can't prove that 2's in one of those cells, which would kick it out of there. Maybe I'm just missing Sudoku now, because I have been focusing on the green dot aspects of the puzzle very hard. I know that. And, you know, it does sometimes lead to a bit of distraction. 2's in one of those cells. 4's in one of those. 8 is in one of those two. Oh my goodness, still got... alerts on. Sorry about that. I didn't know that had happened. Right. 3, 9, 2... This, that can be 9. One of these is 9 touching a 3. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason about that. I can't make a call. Okay, I've got to think about these then. I've got a 5 or 7 under the fog. I don't know. I don't see how this is helping. If that was 3, then this is not a 2, 1, 6, 3 end of the arrangement. That couldn't be 1 or 6. That would have to be 4 or 8. So if that is R, I think I might be able to rule 2 out of here. That would be huge. If this is 1 or 6, that's 2, that's 3. Oh, and then the other 1 or 6 is here. Oh, if that's 1 or 6, it's blue, and this one's orange. Oh, maybe it is more colouring than I've achieved. Or maybe I just look at this cell and go, you cannot be 1 or 6 because you see orange and blue, and that's going to do something. Oh, that's weird. So this can't be 1, 6, 3 or 9. I mean, that isn't enough to mark it at all. I am going to have to find some cell that is being seen by 2. And I don't know how to do that. There, this is being seen by blue and orange, but it doesn't have 1 or 6 as candidates, nor does that. Nor does that. Do I just ask where is blue in this row and find it? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm feeling very stuck here, by the way, and sorry if that's annoying you. 9, 8, 4, 3. So one of these is a 2. That's just... It's got to be to do with these 3 dots. I'm 100% sure there are no other dots in this box under the fog, or not green ones. Am I? I think I'm 100% sure about that. Now that is a definition of not being 100% sure. One of those is a 9. I'm just missing some Sudoku, probably. I don't know, though. I don't know. It's a very interesting problem in stuff. Now, let's say that was an 8-4 pair. Just for the hell of it. If that was 4, 8. Oh, this can't be an 8, this digit, because it's sitting in between 2 green dots. I established long ago that 8 is monogamous. So this is 1, 4 or 6. So 8 in the column is either there or there. And therefore one of these two is 4 and this isn't. I mean, that's not that complex. But man, I couldn't do it. Anyway, that doesn't do anything because that could have followed from here anyway. Okay. Well, serves me right. Now, we've had 1, 6, 9, 3 in this column. This is on a dot, so it is from 2, 4 or 8. That might have been a simpler thing to do before, but if it's 2, this can be 1 or 6. If it's 4 or 8, this can't. Now, for that to be a 3, this is 1 or 6, this is 2. And then this is 4 and this is 8. And the 8 in the final column is there, and that's a 4. So if this is 3, this is definitely 4, then 8 up here. But if that's 3, well, I don't know. Yeah, hang on. This is 2 or 8. This has to be 4. Look at that join. You can't join 8 to 8 or 2. So that is 8. Now this can't be 4. Now this digit can still be 1 or 6 or 4. And one of these two is a 4. And that is definitely a 2-8 pair. Oh man, I'm making this out at the slowest possible pace. I know that. I can't help it. It's all I can manage. If that's 8, this is 4. If that's 2, this could be any of 1, 4, 6. Just like that 2 is touching all of those. So one of these is 8 and one of these two is 4. Wouldn't it be possible to just make some progress now? Can't be now I suddenly have to think about green and purple seeing each other like this can't, this must be 1, 2, 6 or 4. It's not that sort of thing. Okay, if this is 1 or 6, right. If this is 1 or 6, it's blue. Do we know what colour that would be? No, no. We know it joins to a 2, but that doesn't affect colour. Wow, I just can't see it. Four and 8 are in these cells. So in one case, that's quite interesting. So one of these pairs is a 4-8 pair. And that's going to be sitting next to a 5 or 7 here in one of those two cells. And that's going to be the second 5 or 7 in the column. So this is not a 5 or a 7. This cell is a 4 or an 8. That's quite interesting, but it doesn't quite disambiguate a cell and give me a digit, does it? This puzzle has really saved up an absolute beast of a finish for me. I refuse to have it that I'm just being dense. I don't think that's what's happening. I think it's just very clever. So, orange in the final column is there or there. Is that interesting? No, not really. Blue. There is a blue in these 3 cells. That's definitely not interesting. That one isn't blue or orange. Can 3 and 2 be in these cells? Well, either 3 and 2 are in those cells, or they're in those cells. So they go as a pair here, just as 8 and 4 are a pair in one of those or one of those. So 3 and 2 are a pair in one of those or one of those. Now we've still got one left out of 1, 6, 9 to go somewhere here. And either, well, yeah, I don't know if we've got a 5. Yes, we do have a 5-7 to go. We have a purple 5-7 in one of those. So that's not purple. Oh, it's just colouring that I've been missing. That must be 2. This is going to clear some fog somewhere. It didn't. But it can't be purple or green because purple's up there. It didn't clear fog. That's so irritating. I thought that was going to do it. No. What am I missing now? How can I be missing other things apart from how clear that was and I just couldn't spot it? Wow, that was painful. The more I think about it now, the more I thought that was going to clear fog. I mean, I didn't necessarily think it at the time. Now, this can't be 5 or 7 or 9 or 2, 4 or 8. This digit is 1, 3 or 6. It cannot be 1 or 6 because that's not 2 or 3. It's this one. This can only be 3. That's just peculiar. I suppose that's a result of getting that 2. All right, all right. That is 1 or 6. This is 2. I think we're going to finish off now. That's 8. That's 4. I mean, I don't know. This is 1 or 6 connecting to the 3. It gets no colour. This gets no pencil mark. It is the 5 or 7 and it's purple. Now that is where purple is in box 1. That's a discovery we weren't able to make earlier. So in row 2 we've got a 5-7 pair and 9-3. No. We've got, oh, 1-6. I can colour those. Orange there. Right. Orange 1-6 is in one of those 2 in box 1. Blue 1-6 is in one of those 2 in box 2. That's not finishing anything, but the 1-6 pair is done in row 3 along with 9, 2, 3. So that is 5 or 7 by elimination. I don't know its blooming colour. Yes, I do. No, I don't. I was going to say it's not. Yes, I do. No, I don't. No, I'm so sorry. I don't know its colour. Ah, and that could still be 8 in the row, so could that. Right, this row again. 5, 7, oh no, 4, 8 pair. There we go. That is 5 or 7, and I do know that's colour, so now I know the colour here. I also know that's not a 5 or a 7. Now, surely we are going to finish off. That's green in box 1, and that tells me where green is in box 4. And look, I've got all the 5s and 7s fully identified in their cells. And I don't know how I'm ever going to disambiguate. I mean, I suppose something to be revealed again. That is 4 or 8. It is not 3. This is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's having a party and clearing itself as fog only. Ah, dear. This is the 1 or 6 that I was looking for. And the other orange 1 or 6 is here. So that's not a 2. Now I know where 2 goes in this box. Now, 4 and 8 still to place. That must be 4. This is going to finish. 8, 4, 8. Surely this is going to finish. 8 there, so 4 here. And that's not 4. That's a 1-6 pair. This is 8. I think I've made a huge pig's ear of this puzzle and made it harder, much harder than it needed to be. I don't know, maybe not. That's a 1 or a 6. So in this row, that's a 2. Oh, this is a white dot. Here is my white dot. So that's going to decide all the purples are 5s. Is that right? And all the greens, let's just get rid of green out of that one. All the greens are 7s, therefore. All the leaves are brown. And I'm California dreaming. Now I've just got 1s and 6s to do. Oh, look, fog still. Hang on, what's this dot? Well, it can't be a green dot. So despite my colouring green in that cell, oh look, it is definitely a white dot. And this is a 6. And grey no, blue is a 6, isn't it? And orange is a 1. And then there's 2 cells left to do, which are 6 and 9. Oh, no, 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 that's not good. That's not good, because I've coloured both of those 1s because I hadn't disambiguated the colouring. That one is the 1. This one is not orange and is a 9. And now this is a 6 and this is a 9. And that is the solution to triple double. Oh my goodness. And at least it's called triple double, and I came up with a solve time that was divisible by 6. Wow, that was quite tough stuff, but very entertaining. And Jaxar really did have a few surprises in store. From a very simple idea, 2 white dots to disambiguate the 1s and 6s and the 5s and 7s. Maybe 1 white dot could have done that job in theory. Brilliant idea. Very tough to get your head around, and I really struggled with some of that. I mean, yeah, I should have done the colouring. Maybe I didn't even need to colour to see the 5-7 pair and know that that was a 2, which then got me that that was a 3, but that was difficult. Let me know how you did in the comments. I'd be really interested if you tried that yourself. Thank you for watching, though, if you've got this far, and hope to see you again when we do another one tomorrow. Bye for now.